Today we are on the Oregon coast diving for crabs off the jet ski, diving various areas looking for Dungeness crab, red rock crab, and then we're going to end the day with a monster catch and cook. Let's get into it. Sweating cats and dogs. Visibility looks rough as expected, but honestly not as rough as it could be. It's dead glassy out here. It's crazy. We might be onto something here. We might be onto something. Let's go out for a little quick exploration drive. A lot of crab pots out. Today would be a sketchy day to be going out in the ocean. Big breaks out there. The camera probably doesn't pick it up, but it's big. There's a lot of pots out today. An outrageous amount of pots, actually. I was debating on drifting with my jet ski, but there's so much crab pots here, it'd be kind of a mess. I really did want to drift this area where I kind of just leave my jet ski and dive with it, collect crabs on the way, but probably like 50 crab pots out here. Slime for what I got going on. Try to make a habit of is turning off my jet ski when I'm throwing in my crab pot. Now I gotta figure out where we're diving. Critical mistake, boys, critical mistake. I just drove off with my lid not secured and it snapped off my camera. The one I started the whole video on. So, that's not good. It's gonna be really hard to find. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. It's not good. Dang it. Everything I filmed up until this point is gone, which hasn't been much, thankfully. The day just started, but yeah. We're down to one camera, boys. My GPS tells me the route I took, so I'm gonna try to focus on trying to find my camera because I have my last trip's footage on there, which I really don't want to lose. My first time ever not taking footage off a camera before I go filming. That's what happens. And yeah, I mean, there's still gonna be crabs here, so it's gonna be a 2 for 1. I'm gonna throw the anchor in and see if we can find this thing. It seems to be shallow here, so I'm gonna wait for a little bit, make sure anchor is holding, and then I'm gonna get in the water. I just gotta make sure the current isn't stronger than my ability to swim. Because if I get away from my jet ski and I can't make it back, you understand the problem we're in. That is not how a guy was looking to start his day. Operation Find the Cameras in full effect, boys, full effect. Let's go try to find this camera together. Maybe pick up a couple bonus crab on the way. Good news is it's very shallow. Very shallow. Turns out we're very shallow. And we got a curious little sealed pup over there. He's about to come check me out again. There he is. What's up, buddy? Yeah, so far, no camera. Hey, pal, you want to help me find my camera? I'll give you 20 bucks. I was about half an hour in the water. No camera and no crabs. Both are not good. I found one female crab, but that's about it. And yeah, the problem is with finding something small like that, especially since I don't have exactly pinned, it's a lot harder than you might think to find a little camera. Even if you have like a 100-foot by 100-foot area, believe me, we've done a lot of recovery missions. It's pretty difficult. So I kind of just cleared the whole area behind, which is technically where it should have been, and I don't know. I don't want to waste too much time. Life goes on, and so must we. So the only thing that really sucks about losing that camera is all the footage. I was just in Mexico last week, shot my first cubera, and then shot a monster cubera, and looks like that video won't be happening anymore. This is the first time, for as long as I can remember, that I went out and filmed with a camera that had stuff on its SD card. I dump everything off the SD card before I go film again, just for this reason. And the one time I don't, there's a price to pay. So I'm gonna pull anchor, and we're gonna go check on the crab pot we dumped. Let's go see if we got a crab, eh? So far we're not doing good today, folks. We're deeply in the negative. We need a crab or two to cheer us up a bit. We need something. Alright. We're not doing good. I repeat, we're not doing good. Oh man. That's a female. That's a male, but he's too small. And then we got another female. Turns out stuffing it chock full with chicken isn't going to do anything for you. Check things out here. There's doe for crabs here too, but I'm feeling it might be a little dead, considering the fact that there's not a single person crabbing here. But you never know. We're at an advantage because we could go and investigate the situation ourselves. We'll make the final decision on whether or not the crabs are here. Although we did start out a little rocky, I was pretty optimistic about how the rest of the day is going to go, because diving this time of year for crabs is the best by far. Honestly, I don't even really dive for crabs outside of the months that end with R. And even then, we have a short window because November, December, the storms already pick up, the ocean gets blown out, it starts raining. So when it comes to diving, we really do have a pretty small window of when we could dive for these crabs. And we're right in the middle of this window, so I had very high hopes for today. Something I always do when I dive for crabs is I find lost pots of various kinds, and I always try to pull them out, just try to leave the place a little cleaner than I found it. And you guys will see, I'll find a lot of these. Some of them were so stuck I couldn't get them out, but a lot of these smaller ones and different crab snares of various kinds, they're easy. And especially that I have my jet ski with me, it's really easy to just throw them on and get them out of the water. But after about 30 minutes in the water, especially diving this section, it's a little deeper, around 30 to 40 feet. I couldn't help but notice the lack of crabs. I've dove here where it was just abundant, crabs everywhere. I'll show you guys a clip in a little bit of how diving for crabs in Oregon this time of year could get. And it certainly wasn't this. It was like a graveyard out here. I'm not sure why. I think there's some rain that came through a good amount the week before I dove here. And I heard that if we get a lot of rain, that fresh water that flows into these bays, it'll force the crabs to go back into the ocean where it's saltier. Let me know in the comments if this is true or not, and if you guys have actually noticed a significant increase or decrease in crabs when a lot of rainfall comes. But I definitely noticed it today. Pretty nice big cockle, but I'm not really looking for that today. Ow. Ow. Bad boy. And it's too small. Jeez. What I'm doing here is pulling anchor, and I would basically pull anchor, drift with the jet ski 50 feet down current, drop anchor again, dive around there, take a couple drops, then pull anchor again, drift another 50 feet down. And this way I was able to cover a lot of ground, because obviously it was very slow this day, and the more ground we cover, the more chances we have of coming across a keeper male crab. And of course, anytime I see a couple crabs hang out with each other, doesn't matter what kind, they're gonna dance. So shout out to those spider crabs for being good sports. As you could tell, I am finding crabs, but the regulations in Oregon are that you could only keep male crabs that are at least 5 3/4 inches across the top of their shell. So that's what I'm using my little crab gauge for. And I was finding a lot of crabs right under that, and obviously a decent amount of female crabs. So up until this point, I've already been in the water for a couple hours, and I still have not found a single keeper crab, which is really bad ROI. I don't usually invest this much time into diving for crabs, but this was the one goal we had for today, diving for crabs, no spearfishing, nothing else, and they certainly made us work for it. We might have just gotten our first keeper, boys. Holy smokes, did we have to work for this one. Yes, we got a keeper. He had a baby with him, and I usually like to let those go, but desperate times. So I just stopped by the dock, dropped off all the pots I found, just because I don't have room for them. I'm sure someone else is gonna be stoked to find them. If you ever see any pots laying around that have a bunch of growth on it and everything, there's a good chance I left it out for someone to grab. And people are usually stoked to get their hands on one. So we only have one keeper so far. Definitely having to work for it today, so I'm gonna go pull the pot again, and then hopefully there's something in there, and then I'm gonna try to dive in that area. Hopefully there's less pots and people right now. Alright, we need something in here. Bro, what is happening? Genuinely, how is that possible? I got 2 red rock crabs in here. This is wild. We're gonna have to keep them. We're getting desperate. And the other one just fell out, so wow. Not a single keeper out of the trap so far. Not quite sure how that's possible. Gonna need something here pretty soon. This is not good. Not good at all. I'm not sure where the crabs are at. Hopefully we can go find them, because this is not going to cut it for our catch and cook. The closer I got towards the end of the bay where the ocean is, the more crabs there were, but also that's where all the boats were, and that's where there was like 50 crab traps out. And it felt like every crab I was finding was right under the legal limit, which just was telling me that the boats and crab pots ran through everything, and I'm finding basically all the undersized ones. So once I started finding red rocks that were of size, I started keeping them, because red rocks are actually delicious, and you guys will see in the catch and cook later on in this video. And there is no size minimum or restrictions on them in Oregon. The only thing is there's like a bag limit of 24, I believe. And that's about it. So I'm still not sure why this day was so slow and so bad. Like I said earlier, I'll show you guys a video of how diving for Dungeness crab usually is in Oregon, especially in the right seasons. And this is what it looks like. It's absolute abundance, especially if you could score a nice visibility day. I mean, you could literally get your limit within 5 minutes if you're in the right area. And that's my usual experience. This day, I'm not sure if this spot's just kind of blown out, if there's too much boats and crab pots and people going for them, or if it was the rain, or I don't know. Honestly, if anyone has any clues how it could range from being just totally abundant to a ghost town, then I would love to hear some of your guys' opinions and comments in the comment section. But you know, you can't have good days if you don't experience the bad ones. And even though this day was extremely slow, we still grinded it out. This was certainly the most I've ever had to work to have a little crab lunch, dinner. But it was still good. We still got into some crabs. We got a couple red rocks. And I got to spend some time in the water doing exactly what I love. So I've just been spoiled too many times with all the good days. But at the end of the day, I love doing this stuff. It was a great and fun day. And we still got some dinner to eat. I'm not quite sure what we got going on, guys. This is rough. We got 2 keeper crabs so far and a couple of red rocks. And I've been in the water for a while now, several hours. So we might have a couple grams of crab meat to eat. I'm basically done. The wind is I'm trying to drift with my jet ski, but the wind is blowing my jet ski in one direction and the current in the other. I'm having a really hard time covering ground, because that's what you need to do here. Obviously the crabs aren't abundant, so I gotta cover a lot of ground. I've covered already all this with really nothing to speak for. One barely legal male, so I think we're gonna call it. I'm gonna go pull that crab pot, and I got low hopes for that one too. Female. The other guy looks like a male, but he looks too small. At least we know now that dumping a whole giant pack of chicken thighs into the crab trap really isn't going to increase your ROI. More drumsticks doesn't mean more crabs. Eat up, boys. Illegal. And he's not. Wow, that's impressive. Not everyone can do that, guys. Something to keep in mind. I just went out a little bit further. Basing off what I saw, today would be the perfect day for you to attempt to go out and lose everything you have, including your jet ski, possibly your life. You need to get rescued by Coast Guard. It's wild. You would be going out past double overhead breakers for several hundred feet, if not thousands. Ocean is a scary place. I'm pretty sure the bar's even closed today. So we're out. Pulled up on a mystery pot. Someone lost it. It was like right below the surface. And it's empty. It's been down here for a while.
It didn't look very good shape.
Well, questionable shape. Do you want it?
I might take that Danielson you got sitting there.
The what?
The Danielson one behind you. Is that all rusted out?
That one's my personal one.
Oh, okay, never mind, man.
That's the one I was throwing in.
Have a great day. Thanks for doing that.
You don't want this one? Okay. Have a good one.
Dude. Thanks again.
Yep. He waved me down. He's like, yo, this PVC was like right bobbing below the surface. He called me over. It looks like probably had another flag. It broke. They lost it. It's actually a good, decent crab trap. We'll keep it right here. All right. Let's get out of here once and for all. Here's the thing about life. In life, you have winners and losers. You can't be both. You're either a winner or you're a loser. Today, got to take on the chin. We're losers. Simple as that. We lost the camera. We lost the first half of the day of the footage. I lost all my Mexico footage, which, you know, that was a 4-day trip. A lot of time and effort and money went into that trip, down the drain. All for 2 Dungeness crab and a couple of red rocks. Gotta take on the chin. Still out here, still crabbing, still had a great day. There's a lot worse things I could be doing than what we did today, so not all is lost. And we do have a couple grams of crab meat we're gonna eat up here in a little bit. Make a little mean crab boil. Oh yeah. I put it in hot water this morning. It's not hot no more. I have an absolute fire changing towel, poncho. I just dropped 8 different color options, sizes, designs, even a girl's option. We got large and smalls now in this drop. Check it out, bigwaterguy.com. We got hoodies, overalls, pants, shorts, all the good stuff. That feels good, I ain't gonna lie.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great, I watch you all the time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah?
That's good stuff.
Big follower.
That's awesome.
We have a house, a happy camp,
Oh, nice.
and so I watch you go out and stuff.
That's awesome.
Hi. Thank you.
Of course. I always enjoy meeting you guys. Met a couple cool people at the boat ramp today. So, we're gonna have our little seafood boil. You guys already know the secret. We need only ocean water, so I'm gonna get a scoop of that. I'm excited. I'm hungry. We're gonna whack these 2 little crabs we have right now, and the red rocks. Oh. That should be boiling in a couple minutes. Just had an officer pull up and check me. First time I've ever been checked for crabs. Look, man. The cop was really cool. Had a lot of good jet ski talk just now, but remember that thing I said about there's winners and losers? Well, I told you guys, I'm in the loser category today. And to top it all off, just a cherry on top of today, right as the cop came over, my propane died, and it's empty. It was full a couple days ago, and I think it was in my truck, and something must have turned it on, and it just leaked. Catch and cook will happen likely tomorrow. You can't make this stuff up. So I'm gonna get out of here, and this catch and cook is over. We'll continue it back at home. We made it home. Had the night to sleep on what we had going on yesterday. Feeling a little better. You know, it's all part of the game. Today we're going to be eating one of my favorite foods, which is a proper seafood boil. Honestly, it doesn't matter what crab I use. I love seafood boils. It's gonna be very simple. We got some potatoes, we got some corn, and we got some crabs. And we got 2 different types of crab, Dungeness and red rock. So at the end of the day, we might have not got what we came for yesterday, which is an abundant crab buffet to feed the whole fam and friends and freeze for later. But we did get enough for a little lunch, which is exactly what we're getting into today. Probably just gonna cut these, which by the way, just got this again because I lost my other one. I absolutely love these knives. They're called Nico's knives. They have this one and another chef one, smaller one I use. They're super cool. I like the company. I like the guy who owns it. I'll link him below in the description. Check him out. But it cuts like butter too. Chefs do this thing where they throw it up. Ooh. It's not what we were going for. This cutting board is from them too. Ready? Ooh. All right. One more time. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Hold on. Ready? Yo. If any kitchens are hiring, holla. Let's do that again. Yo. I already got the water boiling. I don't have my ocean water, so I'm just gonna throw some of this Johnny's seasoning salt in there. I'm probably gonna throw the potatoes in first. They're gonna take the longest. Ooh. So this is what we're dealing with, and I think for the sake of space, I might chuck these. I was gonna eat them with the head butter and all, but I might chuck these and just eat the body for the sake of space. Dungeness crab, you do want to try to eat them ASAP. Like yesterday, me cooking them up outside like I planned to was ideal. But since that didn't work out, I got home late, had to clean all my gear. Jet ski was still a 2-hour drive. They sat on ice. We're gonna eat them the next day, which is fine too, but you definitely don't want to let them sit on ice or not ice, regardless, for longer than 24 hours, I would say. Clean them up, cook them up. Even if you're not gonna eat them right away, it's better to just boil them and save them for later. Since space is our biggest issue at the moment, I chucked all the crabs. So the bodies for the red rocks, I got just their claws. The bodies I'm gonna save, maybe make like a stock pot later, a broth of some kind. But we're gonna throw all the crab legs in, which we got plenty for me and my wife to eat. Which she's gone right now, but there'll be some leftovers for her. Lastly, we got the corn, my favorite addition to any boil. Let's see if we could go crazy on the corn as well. Ready? Ugh, that's a bad idea. It's pretty decent, not gonna lie. Got corn juice all over me, but I've seen better days. Alright, we're getting out of control here. Last one. If any local kitchens are hiring, I only specialize in fruit ninja activities, nothing else. Throw this. Alright, we're starting to look real good. Let that do its thing for 10 minutes. I think I figured out what my problem is. Because looking at this is a great success. This is what we came down here for. I think I've just been spoiled with too many good days. Too many days where we get in there and there's crab abundance, fish, whatever it is. So whenever I have a slow day like yesterday, I beat myself up for it because I compare it to the legendary days we have had on the coast. But that's not the right thing to do, because at the end of the day, we got one of my favorite seafood meals in front of me, and it's all looking delicious. But here's what I like to do. I got my garlic butter. I'll take a potato. I'll kind of, give it a little mash. Some might call this mashed potatoes. I'll take a little bit of garlic butter, do a little lathering, and then I got some Old Bay. I'll sprinkle that all over my potatoes, because I already know they need more seasoning. And then I got my ranch. Take a little bit of ranch, do a little dazzle. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. And to top it off with some crab. Come on. Come on, things are getting out of control here. That's spectacular. Oh my gosh. You know what? Might have been worth everything. Might have been worth losing the camera. Might have been worth the 4.5-hour drive there and back. To make this fair, let's try one of the red rocks. Their shell's a lot harder, which is why people, and they fly all over the house just like that. Which is why people don't like to deal with them as much, because a little bit more work, but honestly guys, we've done this before. I personally think in a lot of instances, the red rock tastes a little bit sweeter and more pleasant than the Dungeness. Let's give her a rip. That's a tremendous crab right there. Red rocks are delicious. And I'm not hyping it up when I say this, but I might like them a little more than Dungeness, especially when they get of size and you could eat a whole claw. If you guys have the opportunity to get a red rock, definitely rip it next time. Tremendous crab. I got a lot of work to do. I'm not gonna hold you up. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, a couple months ago, a video like this, I promise you I would not have put it out. There's a lot of videos this year that I had exactly like this, some even better, I never put out. Just because I want it to be the best, the most, and I realized that that is a false reality. That's not how life is. A day like yesterday, very, very normal. It's the price of doing business out here. You gotta take out the chin sometimes. But at the end of the day, I mean, we came there to get some food. We have food, so it was a success. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the video, hit a like, hit a subscribe. You already know. We'll see you next week.